The moment they replaced me, they didn't even blink. No guilt, no hesitation, no second thoughts. I remember standing there, watching the people I once trusted treat me like a temporary chapter in a story I helped build. But life has a strange way of turning endings into rebirths. And mine began the moment they thought I was gone for good. I used to be the one who held everything together, at home, at work, in relationships, everywhere. I gave more than I received. I cared more than I should have. And I stayed longer than I needed to. And the worst part? They got used to it. They treated my loyalty like a service and my love like a burden. The day they replaced me, it wasn't quiet. No, it was loud. Loud enough for the whole world to hear the message. You don't matter here anymore. But they didn't know that I was on the edge of a transformation. A rebirth that would change everything they thought they knew about me. When I stepped away, it felt like disappearing into darkness. And honestly, that silence used to scare me. But this time, it felt different. Felt freeing. The version of me they walked over had to die so a stronger, more powerful version could rise. And rising wasn't easy. It meant tearing apart old beliefs, shedding old scars, and facing the truth. I had spent too much time trying to be enough for people who were never worthy. So I rebuilt myself from the inside out. Day by day, piece by piece, step by steady step. I let go of the desperation. I let go of their approval. I let go of the version of me they thought was weak, desperate, disposable. And in that quiet space, I found something I had never really known before: my worth. Rebirth didn't make me colder. It made me clearer. I didn't come back with hate in my heart. I came back with purpose. I came back with calm. Dangerous calm. The kind that doesn't shout. It just shows. I remember the first time they saw me again. The shock in their eyes wasn't subtle. It was loud. That same loudness they used to replace me with came back as regret. Their mouths said nothing, but their faces said everything. We shouldn't have let you go. The people who treated me like I was replaceable suddenly couldn't find a replacement for the new me. The confidence, the peace, the glow, the success, the aura. They weren't ready for it. They weren't prepared for the reality that the version of me they thought was weak was only the beginning of a story they underestimated. My past self would have taken their regret as validation. But this reborn version, she doesn't need validation from anyone. Not anymore. Because the moment you learn that losing people isn't a loss, it's direction, you stop chasing and start choosing. So I walked past them with a calm they couldn't touch. I wasn't there to show off. I wasn't there to prove anything. I was simply living a life they weren't invited to anymore. And that was enough. Their regret wasn't my revenge. My growth was, they asked questions. They tried reaching out. They tried circling back into my life with excuses and shaky smiles. But rebirth teaches you something powerful. You can forgive people without reopening the door they once slammed in your face. So I let them live with the consequences of treating me like an option. And I kept moving, growing, living, thriving. Because once you rise from the ashes, you don't crawl back to the fire that burned you. I hope they healed. I truly do. But their regret isn't my responsibility. My rebirth wasn't for them, it was for me. For my peace. For my strength, for my future. The truth is simple. When people replace you without hesitation, let them. Because life will replace them with better, in ways you never imagined. And now, as they watch me from the sidelines, silent, stunned, wishing they had valued me when they had the chance, I don't feel bitterness. I feel grateful, because without their betrayal, I would have never met this version of myself. The version they can't reach, the version they can't shake, the version they will forever regret losing. Rebirth changed everything, just not for them. For me.